One of the biggest challenges for coaches isn't the coaching itself, but it's actually getting potential clients into a conversation in the first place. Something that's made a really big difference for me and the coaches that I work with is to talk about the expensive problems your clients have that you can help them with. That tends to be much, much more effective than talking about coaching. Because I think the reasons for that is coaching can mean so many different things to so many people, and probably your potential clients aren't that interested in coaching itself, but they are interested in solving very expensive problems that they are experiencing. I'm Lisa Farr, and I've been working with coaches on their marketing since 2008, and I think this is one of the essential strategies. It's one of the things that all of us need to know about. It's how do we engage people once we get in front of them? How do we engage them in a conversation and something that they're interested in talking about? So it's almost like we need to be kind of mind readers in a way. We need to know those expensive problems that our clients are facing and introduce that into the conversation. So let me give you a few examples of some of these problems that I've seen over the years that they work really well. So one example is, say, for leaders and managers, you've got a team of people who are working together and they're just not as productive as you know that they could be. That is an expensive problem. Another example of an expensive problem for those of you who work with leaders is when those leaders need to engage key stakeholders, so both internally and externally, to ensure that large-scale projects, sometimes multi-million-pound projects, get the go-ahead. Now, if they haven't got that buy-in and projects are being delayed, you can see that, again, that becomes an expensive problem. So two characteristics I think might be useful in terms of how do you distinguish whether this is a really expensive problem or not, and is it a good problem to talk about? First is that the client is already aware of the problem themselves. And the second is that the client has already tried solving the problem themselves. So that gives them even more reason to want some help and support with it. Why do expensive problems create better conversations? Firstly is that it's much more engaging for your client, much more interesting for them to talk about their problems than it is for them to talk about coaching. And secondly, once they've got a sense of how expensive that problem is, they're going to be much more keen to have a further conversation with you. And one of the things you can do here is say something like, it sounds like this issue that we've been talking about, it's really important to you. Why don't we have a further conversation about it? And doing that allows it to give a natural flow for you to get your potential client into the next conversation. And that's what it's all about, taking these conversations step by step until the client, if they're the right fit for you, becomes a client. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you found something to take away from that and look forward to speaking with you on the next video.